ويطهر متنجس بنجاسة مرئية كدم بزوال عينها ولو بمرة على الصحيح ولا يضر بقاء أثر شق زواله وغير المرئية بغسلها ثلاثا والعصر كل مرة. Anything defiled by filth visible to the eye, such as blood, is purified by the removal of its body. Meaning, once you have removed the impurity, the clothing is considered clean. So if someone is it necessary to use water? The answer is no. So if someone removes the impurity with vinegar, they have an impurity on the clothes, and they remove the impurity with vinegar, the clothing would be considered clean. By the removal of its body, even if it is with a single wash, according to the correct position, and the remainder of any trace difficult to remove is of no consequence. Meaning sometimes someone may have a blood stain, they wash and the blood stain leaves some color. This would be permitted. Filth that is not visible to the eye is removed by washing it thrice and rinsing it each time. Like sometimes a child may urinate on a blanket, but the urine is not visible. When the urine is not visible, they must wash the cloth 3 times. Some people ask regarding washing machines. What is the legal ruling relating to washing machines when you place garments in the washing machine? The answer is, if you have clothing which has major impurity like blood or any other major impurity, urine or anything else, and you place that with clothing which just smells, meaning it has no impurity. In the old days, the washing machines would not remove the water. So this would mean the water that comes in, once it touches the clothing, the water becomes impure. So this would mean the entire clothing in the washing machine is impure. But in today's day and age, what happens is that the washing machines, they bring in water, the water circulates in the washing machine, then is released. Then fresh water comes in, then washes the clothing, then is released, then fresh water. So therefore the clothing is considered clean. If someone says no, because initially when the water came, it touched impurity, then that would mean all the clothing became impure. So when that water was drained, then the fresh water came, this would mean the fresh water is now impure. If we give the ruling that it remains impure and each time it is impure, then it would be impossible to purify anything. Why? Because if you have a container which has impurity, you place water into the container, you wash out the container, remnants of that water will remain. So that water is also impure. So then you place fresh water in and you clean out the container, then that water will also become impure. And you would continue like this ad infinitum to no end, and the ruling would become impossible, meaning Islam is not a religion which is impossible to practice. Another question some people ask is regarding detergents, that some detergents have bones of animals, like washing powder and things like this. So how can we purify clothing or use liquids on the floor and say the floor has become clean by using detergents? The answer is that when that bone of those animals was placed in those detergents, the bone underwent something known as tahweel. The jurists call this tahweel. Tahweel is when the very essence of that thing changes. Like if you burnt a swine, someone took a piece of swine, flesh, pork, and they burnt it until it became ashes. If those ashes went onto your clothes, the ashes would not be considered impure. So the detergents fall under that ruling. Otherwise, it would become impossible for anyone to consider anything pure. Likewise, if there is alcohol in paint, in the paint that we place on walls, there is alcohol in this. This would become impossible to avoid. وتطهر النجاسة بالماء وبكل مائع طاهر مزيل كالخل وماء الورد ونحوهما. Filth is removed with water and with every pure cleansing liquid such as vinegar, rose water and the like. So these liquids that we have today and they remove filth, those liquids would be permitted. And here we finish Kitab al-Tahara, the book of purification. Inshallah, we will have a break, and after the break we will have a questions and answer session. Jazallahu anna Sayyiduna Muhammadan sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam ma huwa ahlu. Jazallahu anna Sayyiduna Muhammadan sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam ma huwa ahlu. Jazallahu anna Sayyiduna Muhammadan sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam ma huwa ahlu. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.